Well, guys, we tried to give a creative intro, but unfortunately, a bit of, well, say, writer's block going on here. Nothing quite doing. So, yeah, what's up? Welcome back to Ieyasu's blue route this time. And, man, if the red path is usually where things go right, I'm wondering where things are going to go with this path. And from what you were saying before, it doesn't sound like it's going to be particularly interesting, I guess.
Ieyasu is a generally positive guy all around, so he manages to put a bright spin on a negative situation. So things, even if things did look down, he wouldn't be too upset about it.
That sounds right. Yeah, it sounds about accurate.
Make the best of a bad situation. He's that kind of guy.
Literally the polar opposite of Mitsunari as well, who will literally get perpetually more and more pissed off about it.
He'll find a way to turn a good situation into a negative.
Yep, pretty much. But you know what? For what it's worth, for the amount of like bad shit happening to people in Basara 3 as a whole, it is refreshing to have at least one beacon of hope in this game. So you know what? I'll take his optimism as a refresher.
It's funny, too, because most of that negativity is wrapped up entirely in the central plot. A good bit of what's going on in the background is basically a cartoon. Like anything involving anyone that's not important, or just a recruit, or fucking Tsuruhime, who has a route where she's just looking for love.
Yeah.
And then you have other routes like Oichi's, where she has no will of her own and just gets swept up by the tide.
NTR tags intensify. Sorry, that's the only thing that came to mind with that.
I mean, yeah. Mitsunari, I'm just gonna say, I don't think you could have handled him. I think he would have tore you a new one.
I'm gonna say I agree with you, because if Ieyasu is able to fight the fucking human mountain that is Hideyoshi and win, and looking relatively not worse for wear, yeah, I don't like Mitsunari's actual odds of winning.
Props to his loyalty. Willing to die for his lord, even though his lord's already dead.
Instead, we got the reverse hero's journey, where he gets mired in more and more hatred in order to sort of build power and be able to fight Ieyasu, I guess? Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? I do still like how his hair is rendered in that last shot. That's really good.
His hair is dynamic and actually moves.
Yeah, fuck me. The FMVs in this game are really good for the PS3.
Oh yeah, even running on a limited engine. Shit's good.
Yeah, tell me about it. I gotta say though, the more I'm looking at it though, like, it's surprising that despite the fact that I'm obviously able to pinpoint a lot of things taken from other Capcom games going into Basara, because Basara is fun like that, I'm honestly surprised there isn't more like out and out like Street Fighter moves that have just been dropped into his moveset at all.
I think it would probably look a little too dumb if a character just straight up did a Shoryuken.
Probably. But, I mean...
Or, no, I'm sorry. Not a Shoryuken, a Tatsumaki Senpukyaku.
Then again, watching him do a Tatsu, like just going forward and plowing through enemies, on the one hand, that would heavily solve one of his big problems with crowd clearing and forward advancement. But on the other hand, it would also look very fucking silly.
You're right, it would become his best move. Never mind, do all the stupid shit.
Oh no, I get it, dude. Just give him the Mario Tornado. That's in both worlds, because the Mario Tornado is essentially just a Tatsu. Mario is literally just like Smash Brothers Ryu. So it just makes sense.
But Smash Brothers already has a Ryu.
It does now.
Very good. We are going to ally ourselves with the psycho.
Thanks to that Mega Mix or whatever the fuck, so does 64, or it will eventually.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too shocked, considering, yes, just a couple days ago, they dropped Sonic in there. I'm like, dude, okay, that's pretty fucking sick. As well as 32-bit Sonic from the Saturn model, so that's really cool as well.
Our path has been a rocky one, yet we
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cute.
Yeah.
Never will we know
I think that was just from an actual Saturn game. They could have done it further by actually having it be his Sonic the Fighters model.
Yeah. I know more about Sonic games than I realistically should because of Some Call Me Johnny and all the Sonic YouTubers that archive like every single thing about the games. I'll be real here, but it is interesting to know there was like one like Sonic collection on a Saturn, and they have an actual 3D Sonic in there, and it plays a little bit like Adventure, and it's really neat.
It was basically the prototype.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that Sonic 2022 game? The open world thing?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's been like one trailer for it, and apparently it looks like it's going to be open world, and I don't know how I feel about that with Sonic controls.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold that with a huge grain of salt. I'm good, but there's also been a lot of cool proof of concepts for 3D Sonic games brought by the fan community as well, so got me on that one. Oh wait, I wasn't paying attention. What exactly are we doing differently that makes it to the blue route?
To be honest, I wasn't either.
Okay. Well, obviously we chose a different path in order to... Okay, so we're not...
Oh, I think in this case
I think I see
it's a couple of different things. I think in this case he's actually catching up with old friends.
So we're not immediately going to go recruit Magoichi. And as we've both learned, if you don't go to recruit Magoichi ASAP, you're probably not in for a fun time, as we've learned with every other path so far.
Yes.
Literally, Mitsunari's day just gets ruined as soon as he tries to not recruit Magoichi and just tries to take his castle back. It's like, okay.
But so yeah, in this... Yeah, I think he's catching up with old friends. In this case, both the Tokugawa and the Maeda served together under the Oda.
Huh.
And the Toyotomi.
Wait, did this Maeda serve under Oda?
Yes, but in a more limited capacity.
That's just really weird to think of this dude who is with his cool wife and is always hungry, serving under the fucking Demon Lord Oda in this universe. I know it's accurate for actual, like, real-world stuff. It's just a very funny thing about.
It does get put on display once, where Oda, being the devil as he is, in an OVA, which again is based sort of on the first game, because it's an OVA for the first season, Oda gives these two an ultimatum to recruit Motochika to his side, and he's like, you know, I know what's going on, you guys don't need to do this. But you know what? I'll be happy to fight you guys anyway if that's what you want, since you're here.
Is that what? Why? What was his name? Eric Vale's character wasn't Kanbei. What? No, it wasn't Kanbei. What was his name again?
Keiji.
Was it?
Keiji.
Yeah, Keiji. Is that why he was getting? Why he was having fights with them in like season 1 of the original show?
Yeah, he was trying to form the coalition initially by himself, of all of the regional lords versus Oda. Once he got to a point where his deeds could no longer be tolerated.
I see. It's a shame that Keiji's role in the series has just gradually diminished, and now he's a complete background character.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of characters as time goes on.
Yeah.
A lot of them to the point of just no longer being included in anything beyond the second game. There's like 5 or 6 characters that were completely cut after Basara 2.
Oda's wife.
And they had nothing to Oda's wife, the kid that served with them too, that he was an archer, the little snow girl with the hammer, various ugly regional lords that have nothing to do. And most of their gameplay styles have not been replicated. The only one that I know of among them is Oda's wife's gameplay was repurposed into Saika.
Makes sense. Actually, that fully adds up. I wouldn't mind them necessarily being playable. What I would mind is that if you had to max out all of their individual stats in order to pop a platinum trophy. That would be bullshit.
Even this game doesn't do that, actually.
Really?
I can't take this hunger anymore.
Yeah, most of the crap for getting platinums is just unlock every ally in the game, and that means doing the Shadow the Hedgehog roadmap of doing every single stage and every possible combination of orders
Right, yeah.
for every character, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I don't understand how this happened.
Like with Mitsunari, that seems easy, but with some other characters that you'd have to play as later on, ugh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I think the highest I got for trophy completion for this game was like 80%.
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely give Capcom credit for going that fucking in-depth with like the amount of stuff you can do. But if you have to do all that stuff for completion's sake, that's bad. That's pretty rough, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of absurd.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten to a point thus far in editing where I'm actually cutting within stages.
I don't blame you, really. Like, there's only so much of like one thing you could take at a time. I tell you what, I can see your fatigue with doing this, as I was fatigued at even the notion that back in the day you did want to do the entire game cover to cover.
We're all stupid when we start doing something for the first time.
We represent the hopes of the people.
I think at the same time you were under the notion that it was possible that we could do all of Budokai 3 in like 2 days. So that one actually runs both sides of the road.
You know, Matsu,
Fair.
you have got to be the best wife a warrior could ever hope for.
I don't remember that necessarily, but I imagine back then I would have probably just not really cared and probably just thought about doing the main route. But yeah, these days I'm much more interested in showing off everything I can. So yeah, Budokai 3 turned into one of my bigger projects. That's for goddamn sure. And not my biggest for much longer. With what I've been seeing between Raging Blast 1 and Raging Blast 2.
Yeah, definitely. Are you actually gonna do the Galaxy mode for every character?
It's not going to be a traditional Let's Play format, if that's what you're asking. It's definitely going to be streams. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna want some people to help you with that one, because you will go insane.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have Discord calls open. I'm going to be taking audience feedback with, hey, what do you want me to fuck around with? That's gonna be a... I am glad that I didn't just start with the Twitch recording for Let's Plays for Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, I'll admit, has been more of like an experiment to see if I can do it. It's really gonna come in handy for Generations and Raging Blast 1 especially. Holy fuck.
To unite us all
Yeah.
and unite our country.
Yeah, take it from someone who has actually 100%ed Raging Blast 2 twice. That is a game that will leave you with nothing but your skeleton.
Yep, I've done it once, I never wanted to do it again. Well, also I couldn't because PS3 kept reformatting.
Game is fun, don't let me take that away from it, but the actual process of doing all the crap, it will rot you to your core.
Oh god, yeah, tell me about it. Jesus. Ugh. And even then, I've been finding Raging Boss 1 to be worse! Oh no! Oh, you've been in some of the streams, you've seen how dry it can get.
Yes. However, it has resulted in some wonderful comedy.
Yes, definitely. That, again, one of the reasons I'm glad I switched to just live streaming my own Let's Plays.
For the sake of the suffering across
And if I can eventually get Discord running in separate audio tabs so I can control all the game audio, your audio, my audio simultaneously, we'll be able to do all of our shit live, which would be very cool.
I think that's a function of OBS more than anything else.
Yeah, it is. It's not a direct thing OBS can do, but there's third-party applications I've been looking into that let you do it, which is very handy. Some of which is very cool, some of which is very complicated. And that's pretty much like my next big goal for the setup, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, we are getting taking care of this right away.
Oh, fucking Mitsunari's castle's being stormed already, hot damn. Take him out early, I guess.
Alright, no, this is one of those cases where it's like we can try to convince him over the long term to see if we can't get him to see reason, or we can take him out now and focus on peace immediately. What's the more pragmatic option?
If you're asking that seriously, I imagine taking care of Mitsunari early would actually be the best, smarter option, but... Well, okay. Yeah, trying to deal with the problem now versus letting your main problem literally amass half of the country underneath his one banner and the other half under yours, I can see that being probably the better bet, but again, as we've seen, if you don't get Saika, you're not in for a fun time.
Realistically, too, depending on how committed the all of the other factions are to the banner of that alliance, if you do manage to beat them, how likely are they going to want to join you in the aftermath for your dream of unification?
True.
You've killed their leader. Why would they want to join you now?
That should make this fairly interesting in the long run, then. Oh, that also tells me that, call it the educated guess, I imagine Yukimura might be the last boss of this run.
He is.
Okay, because
the four core characters have a thing going on. All of their A and B stories are basically interconnected.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that for Masamune, like, Mitsunari was the last boss for his blue route, considering all that happens, and I want to say for Mitsunari, Yukimura was his last boss on his blue route. I'm not sure about that off the top of my head, though.
Mitsunari's blue boss was Masamune. Yukimura's blue boss was Ieyasu.
Okay, yeah.
And Masamune's blue boss was Yukimura.
And that blue boss for... God, that blue route for Yukimura is still really good. Fucking hell. The one where he's actually just self-doubting super hard is really interesting. Like, oh, wow, character death. Holy shit. Cool.
The one where he tries to fall back on all of his old tendencies that just don't seem to be getting the job done anymore.
When the sleep paralysis demon gives you character growth.
I dream of falling into the ocean.
I'm pretty sure more than a few
That's
people
a real
have
thing,
dreamt about drowning. Probably.
That's a real thing. It has actual implications and symbolism.
Yeah. I'll share this. I haven't had sleep paralysis since I graduated college.
I didn't know you had it beforehand, but that's good that that's not something that's afflicted you in many years.
Yeah, it's definitely sleep paralysis seems to affect you like when you're particularly like stressed out, like in general. So, yeah, it definitely hasn't happened since I graduated college. So, if anything, that's definitely a good thing.
No stranger to nightmares in general, though.
Yeah.
A lot of them involve bugs. It's kind of fucky that way.
Okay, so when you were just doing the barrage of the punch barrage just now, I noticed something weird. Like, not every single one of his swings had a hitbox. Like, it seemed to only be like maybe 3 or so.
That's what I've been saying. I don't think every hit, every animated punch swung is an actual attack.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I think that's why it drops on your opponents when you try juggling them.
Which is so weird again because this is an attack you can charge by mashing the button. Because I think the input is L1 triangle, and then you start mashing square, and it becomes an extended attack.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is going on is like the first couple punches before you shift to the barrage. I think those all have hitboxes on every single one, but then when he shifts to the barrage, I don't think the hits start kicking in until like maybe a couple punches in, so the opponent drops on the floor, and then they're on the floor, so they're invincible. So then you like your barrage is just not doing anything. I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, really gonna have to check if they fix that by 4.
I imagine they would. Like that's a pretty big oversight.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know, how much do you trust Capcom in the mid-2010s?
Oh god, that's a great question. Yeah, no kidding. On the one hand, they'll actually release DMC4 Special Edition, about 8 years too late. But on the other hand, they'll also do Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Resident Evil Mercenaries, so... great question.
It begs another question. Depending on how forgiving you are, does Resident Evil 7 count as when they pulled their head out of their ass? Or does Resident Evil 2 Remake count as that? Because between those two games, they also launched Marvel Infinite.
So, I feel like I have a perspective on game companies that not a lot of people have, because here's the thing about a lot of game companies, guys. Oftentimes, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and these companies consist of a lot of people.
Exactly, yes.
So, it's like with, do I go into that?
There's a million layers of bureaucracy for every single process. So it's not as easy as, oh, just fix this or fix that. It has to go through a million layers of approval and review before it actually gets implemented.
Here's an example. This isn't a game company. This is an anime company, and this is still relevant now. Probably not when this goes up. So the whole totally not Mark situation, not about this isn't about the games thing. Don't worry. It's the thing about Toei reaching out to Mark, supposedly about like promoting something, but it turned out to just be like a play or some shit, or like a performance. I don't remember what it was. Being like, hey, yeah, we'll reach out to you, and then like, but Toei was still like trying to do the DMCA shit. The thing is, like, there's a lot. Companies have a lot of branching arms, and oftentimes they don't know what the hell their higher ups are doing. So, like these people that reach out that want to like just be friendly, they don't know that the higher ups up the chain are trying to assassinate this person.
Yeah.
Like, you get that a lot with Capcom, especially. There's like pretty much Capcom of America and Capcom of Japan are like two completely different entities at times. Capcom of America actually knows what the community generally is looking for. Capcom of Japan, not so much. Not always. Nope. In fact, I think it's actually with the Street Fighter Cross Tekken DLC thing that, let's see, if I'm quoting Matt McMuscles here, right? America was saying don't do the on-disc DLC, people will data mine it, and they will know what's going on, and Japan was like, nah, they won't figure it out, and guess what? They figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot more like, that's going to happen in America, that's not going to happen in Japan, because there are literally laws in Japan against modding things, because you don't own the rights to your property in Japan. There was a story where someone inside Japan modified a copy of Breath of the Wild, and they were actually arrested for
Jesus!
Yeah.
Fine and DMC, fines and like cease and desist, sure, but fucking arrested? Jesus Christ, okay.
Laws in Japan are a very different beast. They go straight for the noose as their first option. Japan still has the death penalty, and sure, a lot of other countries do too, but they go for that a lot quicker than most other things.
Yeah, that's that perspective of like a lot of people on like various websites glorify Japan as like some cool place, but no, they still got some really backward shit going on. Jesus. In fact, it was
that's why it's
actually.
That's why it's important to know the context of something like Ace Attorney that feels like a parody or a joke, but it actually is based very heavily in Japan's legal system. You do have a very limited amount of time for a trial to actually run, and I'm pretty sure the actual punishment in most cases in Ace Attorney, the serious ones, is actually the death penalty. If there is someone like a murder or another very serious level of crime, when you find out that the culprit did it, they actually get sentenced to death.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, it's not meant to be a comedy, albeit very much is. It's meant to actually be a send-up of Japan's terrible legal system.
Yeah, it's fucking parody for us, but for them, it's a real thing. Jesus.
To get back on...
Sorry, yeah, I'm just going to mention one more thing. That also does kind of, going back to the whole Mark thing, I guess that also does kind of come back into the whole thing about Japan doesn't really have a fair use clause at all.
No, they don't.
Fucking Jesus. Oh yeah, get ready for all your favorite anime YouTubers to disappear, by the way, because of slap lawsuits. Oh boy.
I was going to mention that, yeah, I was going to say, getting back to the copyright thing, There's another story going on right now. We're in February, by the way. The Mark thing was settled back in January. There's another similar situation going on right now that's flown completely under the radar. There is a YouTuber by the name of Suede, who's been around for 10, 12 years. Former Channel Awesome member. Completely innocent, by the way.
Yep.
Most wholesome man in the world. And his bread and butter for the last 10 years has actually been reviewing the Pokemon anime. And he shows clips, he plays audio, he does synopsis, trivia, all that kind of stuff. And just recently, he's been hit with a lawsuit directly from Japan. ShowPro, the company that owns the Pokemon anime license, has actually sent him actual mail, actual court documents saying that they are suing him directly to his home in New Zealand.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
They're not just doing DMCA, they are actually suing him for real. And because he only has 20,000 subscribers instead of the near million that Mark has, his situation is something that almost no one has heard about.
Yeah, that's... God damn, that's... Well, people are going to hear about it if... Considering Toei's current track record, if they do get wind of this whole slap lawsuit thing, yeah, Team 4-Star is going bye-bye. Because for all the money they have, and pretty sure they've been losing money ever since DBZA stopped. Yeah, ugh. I don't think they have the resources to defend themselves in a Japanese court.
Not from Texas, they don't.
Nope.
That's if the blizzard doesn't kill
Oh
him.
yeah, fucking rip.
Round 2, baby, round 2. Texas blizzard.
Yep. It's not like we saw this coming again because climate change is not magically going away. It's only getting worse. They'll blame it on the cooling. They'll blame it on lack of antifreeze on the windmills again, which is actually part of the problem, from what I understand.
So many adventures. To think it's brought me here.
So this is disappointing. There is no end cutscene for after, you know, we deal with the main rivalry in this game. That's sad. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done that every time. That's happened in the Blue Routes for all of the characters.
Ugh.
I think the only character that did actually get a scene of absolution is Masamune. I think he's the only one that got one that has any sort of resolution after taking the kill the enemy quick option.
Hmm.